Democratic victory. Culmination of his strenuous day of campaigning comes at the site of his nomination this summer. Open season on voters gets underway as the presidential candidates start cross-country vote hunting tours. Candidate Truman, accompanied by his daughter Margaret, gets a send-off from running mate. Still westward to Salt Lake City hurries the president. 80,000 farmers here for the national plowing contest. Here Mr. Truman again attacked the Republican 80th Congress and called for a big vote in November.
Get every vote out on election day and make it count. You can't afford to waste your votes this year.
Is on. Candidate Thomas E. Dewey reached hot on the heels of Harry Truman. A crowd of 12,000 hails the Republican nominee as his train heads for Daventry is surrounded by his 15-car victory Fort Iowa and another reception. Dewey, who Des Moines.
Thomas E. Dewey's public career was launched in 1930 scandal. 4 years later, earliest job, clearing out gangsters and racketeers whose hope been tightening through years of Tammany rule.
You've been loading for Mason again. Now, for the last time, are you going to keep out of our territory or not? I'm not. But I don't need any protection.
To jail. The 73 indictments he secured against rackets which had flourished with complete immunity began breaking up as the city's gang overlords went. By running the state with such economy and efficient public services while cutting taxes, Dewey won the full confidence of the people of New York, who in the elections of
In the Drake University Fieldhouse, New York's governor appears before a capacity crowd to fire his opening gun in the campaign for the president.
To you that on next January 20, there will begin in Washington the biggest unraveling, unsnarling, untangling operation in our nation's history.
9,000-mile trip behind him, President Truman winds up his first campaign swing with a speech at Charleston, West Virginia, and returns to Washington. In 140 talks before an estimated 2 million listeners across the nation, Mr. Truman hammered away again and again at the record of the Republican-controlled 80th Congress. Like candidate Truman, candidate Dewey enters the home stretch of his first coast-to-coast tour. In Salt Lake City, he underlines America's unity on foreign policy questions with a strong denunciation of isolation and appeasement. But there, Republican-Democratic agreement ends. Dewey accepts Truman's challenge on the 80th Congress and defends it vigorously. Both camps claim they made big gains as the candidates hurry back for rests before their next campaign swing.